Joel here. I just wanted to share a couple pointers regarding anxiety. Over the years, I've had a personal struggle with anxiety, and I feel like one of those moments where I wish that somebody would have shared these things with me. And I know they're not groundbreaking, it's probably even common knowledge, but for me, it would have really been helpful if I would have either heard it earlier or taken it to heart earlier. So number one is exercise. Again, this is not groundbreaking. I'm sure you've heard this 1,000 times, but especially for those of us with anxiety, exercise, I'm not a doctor, but there's something not just mentally, physiologically that happens when you exercise for those of us with anxiety, and it really helps to clear your mind. The biggest challenge for me was simply making it a routine. Once I was able to make it a routine, then it really just became ingrained, and that feeling that it gave me, the mental relief, it's extremely beneficial. I mean, I can't really tell you how beneficial it is until you've tried it yourself. And now I know for a lot of people this is really difficult to make a routine, but if you can find a way to make if you can find a way to make the exercise a habit, it'll really alleviate the anxiety, the increased heart rate, and the clarity it gives you. It's just unparalleled in my opinion. For me personally, I like to run. I don't run fast, but I do enjoy running almost every day. What I would recommend is find what you'll do consistently. So for me, it's running. Some people hate running. So for you, it could be cycling. Let's say, get on your bike and go for a 2-mile bike ride, or go for a walk. Whatever you like to do consistently, it will help not just your physical health, but your mental health. Greatly help that. The second point is, I'm not going to get into the specifics of it, but you can Google it. There's a whole list of they're called maladaptive thought processes, or maladaptive coping mechanisms. And essentially what you're doing is you're training yourself to identify thoughts that you're having that are not beneficial. So you're asking yourself, is this, you're kind of like a third person stepping back, and you're looking at your own thoughts, and you're saying, wow, is this thought helping me or hurting me? Is this thought making my life better? Is this thought rational, irrational? And this takes a really long time, but I'm here to tell you that it does work. It does take time, because we have deeply ingrained mental habits and mental processes in our brains. But once you can step back and learn to identify and categorize, even maybe write down your thoughts and then look at the patterns, you start to think, wow, that's a really maladaptive thought. Example, like, oh man, I screwed up on my presentation at work. I'm such an idiot. That right there, that I'm such an idiot part, that's not helpful. So that kind of inner dialogue I've learned to eliminate. So you could say, hey, I made a mistake at work, but I'm going to learn from it and I'm going to improve from it. That's just a very basic example, but the point is if you learn to identify the thoughts, you can stop them, and you can eventually reprogram, eventually rewire your brain to think more positively, to think more rationally. So that's the second point. And then just the third thing quickly I want to share is just a lot of dealing with anxiety is just you have to face your fears. And it sounds so simple, but this lesson took me years to figure out. Seriously, it did. Just for an example, I'm driving down a highway or a roadway, as you can see, and it took me a really long time to feel comfortable just driving down a roadway. It sounds crazy, but it really did. But I kept doing it. Like, I kept exposing myself to that thing that caused me anxiety, and driving, for some reason, not driving on all roadways, but driving on like freeways in particular, really caused me a lot of anxiety for a long time. But I realized that it was something that I would need to do, to live a good quality of life, or to be a functional member of society, whatever you want to call it. So just exposing yourself over and over, and again, this is a gradual process, man. This can take months or years, depending on how severe your anxiety level is. But I'm here to tell you right now, like, I used to have a really irrational fear of driving on highways, and now I'm able to do it. It actually, what was once a very stressful, is now actually relaxing to me, because I take my time. I go the speed limit, and I just, I put on some music, or put on a YouTube show or something, and just zone out, basically. And so I just wanted to share just three quick tips about things that have really made a difference in my life anxiety-wise. So the first one, again, was sorry, we just went over the first one was sorry, my brain is totally not working. Exercise, excuse me. So we run over how beneficial exercise is, and then the second one was just awareness of your thought process, and are your thoughts maladaptive or not? And then the third one was just exposure, just facing your fears, essentially. So, I hope this helps somebody. Leave a comment, like if you want. This is my first video, so thank you very much for watching. See you next time.